Alright, welcome back to another video on Pydini doing stuff and filming it. Today we're doing another old tech video. We have here this really rather ancient General Electric Company radio. Now, I'm not entirely sure on the age on this. I'm gonna say 1980s, maybe a little bit older. There doesn't seem to be any markings on it which indicate when it was made. I may do a bit of research as we're working on this. But yeah, I've had this for quite a while now. Let me think. I bought this when I was a student, so you're talking a good 10 years ago. It was working when I got it. It worked reasonably well. If I'm honest, I bought it more just because I liked the look of it. I like old things like this. It's been in storage for a long time. So yeah, it's been a bit neglected. It's been up in the loft. As you can see, it's gathered a layer of dust which doesn't easily wipe off. It's going to need a right thorough clean. But yeah, I thought I'd get this thing out because I do like this, and we're doing quite a bit of housework and renovation at the moment. And yeah, I'd like this to be restored to its former glory, and it make a nice piece to have about the house. So yeah, a bit of information about it. Yeah, I mean, you can tell by the age of it. This has 4 types of frequency in it, 4 bandwidths. I'm not sure what the technical term is for it. You have long wave, FM, medium wave, and then this 4th one called BS. At the moment, I'm not sure what BS actually is. Naturally, of course, if you type BS into Google, you don't get things related to old radios. You get something rather different. And you can see the switches on here. You press each one. They're a bit stiff. That one I'm guessing is medium wave. That's L. So that's BS, that's FM. So that would be medium wave. The lettering's worn off slightly. Interestingly, the FM one doesn't come all the way up. Clearly it's been on FM for a long time. You have this knob here. You turn it past a certain point to turn it on. And then you have tone. I don't remember that really making any difference. If you turned it all the way around, it made it slightly louder. But I don't remember that really making any difference when I was first playing around with this mind you, it was 10 years ago. Volume, fairly simple. I do remember if you turned it up too far, it just went horribly distorted. I think you could only go about halfway. And of course, tuning. And it's your old style tuner. It just moves the needle along. Big old plastic needle for this old gauge in the middle. These stickers were on it. There's 1, 2. I'm guessing this red one's meant to be 3 and 4. They look pretty old themselves. I mean, the font and the colouring kind of matches this gauge. So I'm guessing they probably came with the radio, and you would put the stickers on your favourite stations and maybe write down what each one corresponded to. So rather than searching if you want to change the station, you just dial it across to whichever one you like. And the different colours probably mean the different modes. So yeah, I'm guessing that's what it is. Christ knows what they mean now. Down the front you have this big long metal strip, slight dent in it, General Electric Company Limited. If anyone who doesn't know, General Electric are still out there. They do make a lot of things. Interestingly, not all of it strictly electricity related, but there we go. I would say 90% you've probably got a General Electric product in your house, and 100% you will have encountered one at some point in your life. They are just everywhere. As far as I know, they don't make radios, they don't make consumer electronics like this anymore. You don't see like General Electric washing machines, at least I don't think you do. But I know they make things like light bulbs, so chances are you've had one in your house, or you currently have one in your house. And they also make the huge bits of machinery like electric dams. I think they get involved in aircraft engines occasionally. So yeah, they're still around, still a massive company, just not one that perhaps everyone's heard of or knows about. So down the front, I mean, you can show its age. It's got a jack here for a tape deck. That looks to be your standard headphone size jack, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a tape deck to try. I mean, we could try with Let's try this set of headphones. It's not going to help damage either device by trying. Yeah, so that fits. So that appears to be your standard jack. It's a bit loose, but then again it's old. This may not be quite the right jack for it. So yeah, I don't have anything that plays cassettes anymore in the house, but that's for another day. And then you have here exterior or external aerial AM, and then the same again for FM. Both look to be the same, so presumably you could have one aerial and just swap them over, or have both plugged in. I'm guessing that's because the aerial on the back here is pretty piddly. I mean, it's quite odd. It looks like it perhaps used to have an extra bit attached to it, because this bit does, it's stiff, but it does rotate. But then the top also doesn't look broken. It looks like it perhaps used to have a part glued to it. That's just been snapped off and lost. It does move up and down as well. You can push it in and then get it stuck and then pull it back out. So it's almost like it probably used to have a retractable aerial, just not a very good one. I'll leave that where it is for now. Fairly basic radio. I mean, this would have just been a fairly common thing for you to have in your house. It's got a carry handle on the top. It is battery powered. There's no main socket on this, so it's a portable radio. Just picture some 80s kid carrying this somewhere down the streets. Probably some, I don't know, rock and roll that these parents didn't approve of before, I don't know, before Arnie came along and tried to kill him and his mother or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah, it is portable. And on the back, not much to see really. It does say along here, I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, designed and manufactured in Great Britain. These vents, well, I'm guessing it's it gets warm with prolonged use maybe, I don't know. Yeah, in here, this is where the battery sits. Quite a large battery thing. Little connectors in here. And this sticker, you can tell from the glue marks, used to be on the inside of here. And it says it's model number G817. Warning, exhausted batteries must be removed to prevent damage to the receiver. Well, hopefully that is just a vague warning, because it did have a knackered battery in it up until yesterday. And then it says use battery ever ready PP9 or equivalent, and there's a serial number 001105. So Christ knows, either this is a relatively early production or they're expecting to make way more than they ever did. But yeah, the sticker I'm going to keep hold of. If I'm going to be restoring this, I want to try and find a way to stick it back down, or at least find a way to replace it. On the battery front, in my infinite wisdom as a youth, I was using a normal 9-volt battery. The problem is these connectors don't actually fit. They don't fit onto them, whichever way around you try them. See, that's the negative one, so that will go on there, and it doesn't fit. So I had it taped on. I do remember this working. Like I say, that is enough to power it. Now, the original plan was I was going to snip these off and solder in a proper connector, snap-on connector, so it can be run off one of these batteries, and then that could just sit in there. Nothing wrong with it. That's more than capable of powering it. That's modern technology. It wasn't until I googled what these PP9 batteries were, and I'm thinking, I just wonder. I wonder what they even look like. I doubt you can buy them. I mean, look at the friggin' size of this. I mean, in comparison, that's a 9-volt battery. It just plops in the bottom. I mean, surely you can't buy them. Might be some people that have kept hold of them, but you know, they can't be any good. To my surprise, they are still in production. There we go. Ever ready silver, exactly what it said to use on the label. There it is, brand new battery. They are still in production. Obviously they're not used very much, but yeah, I was able to get this from Wilko's for £4. Plenty of places online sell them, but I was going out at the time, and there was a Wilko's where I was going, so I just called in and got one. Plus I'm a bit of a Wilko's fanboy, so, but yeah. But for comparison, this battery is completely fecked. I like to say it's been in here a good 10 years. And it's currently putting out 0.95, 0.96 of a volt. So that's effect. That can go away. And yeah, this one in theory should fit these connectors. And the problem with them is they're just a little bit too big. And if you look at that, put that on there, that's meant to go over this positive one, and it doesn't fit at all. I mean, you can sort of snap it over the negative, but then it's the wrong way around, and you're going to blow yourself up. So we can't be doing that. So we'll get this open. Quick swig of tea. It says security protected. I went through the self-scan and then went through the alarms. It didn't go off, so hopefully not that security protected. So you just stick that on. Who's going to steal an old battery like this? I mean, what are you going to do? Sell it for crack? Well, that's probably why people would steal it, but it's not really worth anything to anyone. All the people buying them are probably people trying to fuck around with vintage radios. So we'll try this one out. That way around. Not that it really matters. This is putting out 10.08. Excellent. That's what we need. That's a brand new battery, so I don't expect anything else. Let's just try this. Now, before we go down the whole restoring, cleaning route, let's just see if it works. I mean, even if it doesn't work, I may crack it open and see if there's anything inside. I do have a soldering iron, but it's a long time since I did any serious soldering work. But if there's something obviously broken, I can look to replace it. But if it turns out to be beyond repair, then I'm not going to bin this. I'll just clean it up and it can be a nice ornament somewhere. So I'll just snap these in place. There we go. They're on. We're meant to straighten it up a bit. There we go. Leave the sticker out for now. Whoa. There's life. To that. Oh. Volume button didn't like to be on. There's life in the old girl. Oh, maybe there isn't. Let's just try. It's an interesting thunk when it's turned on. It's a transistor radio, so I'm guessing there's stuff moving inside. I don't know if you can hear this. Yeah. Let's just leave that there. I'll turn that there. Now, we are slowly phasing out these old analogue stations. The old analogue signal's supposed to be getting turned off in the next few years in this country, but for now it is still available. BS, I don't know what it is. I don't expect to find anything on there. We're not going to use it. There's still a few stations on medium wave that you can pick up, most notably BBC Radio 5. They're on 909 and 693 medium wave. I believe there's one station that you can pick up on long wave. The last time I tried it was in French, so yeah, but we'll try that later. But there's still plenty available on FM. Interestingly, the analog TV signal was turned off about a decade ago now, and everyone had to move over to digital receivers. And but they've delayed turning off the radio one for a long time. So yeah, so we'll just try tuning this, see if we can pick anything up. I don't know any FM frequencies, so we're just going to go through this and see what happens. Nothing. That is a little concerning. Nothing at all. Let's just turn the volume up to nearly full. Let's try medium wave. Nothing at all, not even static. The only thing I can hear is the dog snoring. Okay. And just for the sake, let's just try that one. I mean, it's definitely doing something. It's making noises. So there's life in it. Interestingly, if you turn it on then off again, you get static noise as you twiddle with this. And then it dies. Nothing. There's not even static. Let's just move her back to FM. Right, that's a bit disappointing. Got all excited when there was life in it, but now it appears not. There's definitely something going on, because as you turn this off, you can make static, and it's almost like something's discharging inside. When you first turn it on, you do initially get something. And yeah, not sure. So what we'll do, we'll leave it on. I mean, I don't know much about these old transistor radios. So, I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't know. Do they need to charge up? Do we need to wait for it to fill up or something? I mean, it's been turned on for a while now, so I don't know how long you're meant to wait. I thought these things just sort of came on. Let's just try put something in the aerial. No. Static. Maybe it does just need to be turned on for a while. Alright, let's just put that on there, give it a slightly larger aerial. I think at one point I had tin foil wrapped around this to give it a bigger aerial. Interestingly, this volume button isn't making any difference to the volume of the static, but whatever. Let's try going this way. I think you can still get Kiss on 105. Still nothing, although it does seem to occasionally just try. It's almost like there's something coming through. I mean, I'm so used to technology nowadays, especially radios, you turn them on and they're there. Maybe you did have to wait wait for them to get going back in the day. I mean, also, Christ knows what it does to it. I mean, this thing's been sat unused for, let's say, at least 5 years. I would say more like 10 years since this was last even turned on. Plus, it's probably 40 to 50 years old. No, I'll not get anything on the FM. Let's try one of the others. Let's try long wave. Nothing. Alright, let's try medium wave. Right. I don't think we're going to get anything. The thing does seem to be improving with time from being left on. But I'm wondering if there's just too weak a signal, or it's just been too inactive. Maybe the aerial's knackered. Maybe we need to try. See, I don't have anything that can be plugged into this. I might have to order something, or find something I can plug into this tape slot. But yeah, I'll have to have a look. See, now I get static straight away. Almost like the internals needed time to warm up. Alright. We're going to try something else. I'm going to give it a good clean up. Like I said, if nothing else, it can be used as an ornament, but it needs to look a bit nicer than it does. So we'll try and get this dust off. This has been on here that long, it's all stuck on. You see, if you rub hard enough, it will start to come off. And the same on here. So yeah, we'll give it a good clean off. I'm going to take these little stickers off, straighten it out, get it looking nice-ish again. I think I'll leave it on whilst I do that, because if there is anything going on inside it, it'll need to be left on. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm hesitant to use any sort of harsh chemicals on this, or, well, any chemicals of any sort, really. You know, I just don't want to ruin the finish. As I pointed out earlier, some of this lettering's already started to come off. I don't want to take any more of it off, so I want to know what these buttons do. I will probably look to try and get these relabeled. I doubt I'm going to be able to reprint them, but I may be able to get some stickers of some sort. Maybe just a label maker, or maybe like the old Airfix transfers. That'd probably look quite nice. But yeah, we'll leave that for now. One thing I did just notice, I don't know if this comes across on here. Angle it in the light. The lettering just along there, it says Master Radio. So yeah, I'm guessing this is the GE Master Radio, model G817. So yeah, so we're just going to use, this is a clean dishcloth. Well, it's a dishcloth. It's never been used for the dishes. It's just a spare one that I keep lying around for various purposes, and a simple cup of plain water. Just give it a wipe down, get all the dirt and grime off it, and yeah. And then if it still isn't working, by then we might crack open the internals and see what's in there. So yeah, bit of time lapse of some cleaning now. Now I'm partway through giving this a clean, and apart from this top bit coming out really shiny, that's the only bit I've done yet. I don't know if you can hear that, but the static has all of a sudden just gotten a lot louder. I think there's something going on in this radio. I think being turned off for so long, all those old components are just getting going again. Interesting, if I extend the aerial, put a bit of metal on it, we all of a sudden pick up a lot more. So let's just have a bit of a twiddle. Ooh. I hear some Taylor Swift. It's not great, and it seems to be using my hand as an aerial. So we'll get the fine tuning a bit better. Oh, lost it. It's getting better. I'm just bring my hand closer to the back. It's getting better the longer it sits here turned on, which is quite good. mean, it's terrible, but I'm impressed. It's getting better. So yeah, a bit more cleaning. We'll leave it running and see what happens. So I'm nearly done with the cleaning, or wiping it down, you could say. And this is definitely getting better.
He wants to link up with Ed Sheeran this year. I bet he does. I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't want to link up with Ed? If I was a singer, which I'm...
See, with a bit of extra aerial on it, because this aerial's pathetic, we're getting pretty okay signal now.
Everything he touches turns to gold. You know, he's written for One Direction, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, and his own stuff as well, obviously. So yeah, I know exactly why Joel Corey wants to work with him. Ed's like that kid in school, you know the one that always got 8 stars in every single subject. If you work with them on a homework project, you knew you were sorted. That is Joel Corey and loads more big tunes coming up after 5 o'clock though. Rudimental plays in just a few minutes. Jason Derulo's on the way as well. This is
Hot. Yes.
It's a shame, I absolutely despise heart radio. But it's definitely getting better. It's got some volume to it, and turn that down a touch. Yeah. Alright, we'll keep going. Not far to go now. Alright, so I've turned it off for now. I've still got the odd little bit of cleaning to do. And like I need to get a toothbrush in along here. And these bits are proving quite difficult to get clean. This chromed section. This top bit feels like one of the few metal components on this, on the frame anyway. These knobs are metal. And you've got these little metal strips. But that's, yeah, that's proving difficult to get completely clean. But we can work on that later. But yeah, a little bit more cleaning, and then what I might do is just crack it open anyway, because what I did notice, turn it back on, it's now giving pretty perfect sound. There's a little bit of static, but that's what you get with analog radio. But I did notice that if I shake it and move it around, occasionally the signal drops out. So I'm wondering if there's a loose component or a dry joint inside. So yeah, turn that off for now. And it would be nice if I could get these knobs clean. If I could take them off somehow, that would be good. But yeah, I don't know if this is coming through on the video as well, but the volume one is a different colour to the other two. I don't think that's by design. I think that's just the one that you use more than anything else. But yeah, but it's coming up pretty nice. Some bits are proving easier to clean than others. Like all this grill down the front is a pain in the ass. But we've got time. This is a long project. I'll give myself several months with this if I wanted to. So, yeah. I think for now what we'll do, we'll take the battery out and we'll crack her open. Just have a quick look inside. If for no other reason than I'm curious, even if all I do is then just put it back together. So let's do that. Okay, so I've gone and got my screwdriver set. Looking at these screws, we're going to go with the biggest bit. What I'm also going to do is just put this grotty water out of the way. That's what it looks like from giving it a clean down. All I was doing was using the corner and going like that to wipe it off and occasionally dunking it in. But I don't really want that next to my drinks, because me being the klutz that I am, I'll probably pick it up and take a swig without realising. And then I'll be throwing up all over fucking YouTube. Brilliant. So I'll snap that in there. I'm going to take this out. Just unclip the battery. For now, only going to have 9 volts in this, but I make it a point never to disassemble something that's still got power. So I'm guessing it's these 2 back screws and the thing comes apart. Let's give it a go. Let's have a look in here. Now that's some old tech if we ever saw any, isn't it? Look at that. Just lay that to one side. That's very interesting. Now, I don't know if you can see that on here. The aerial, let's just angle that properly. There's literally just a rod there. There's a bit of wire going to it. And when I was moving it up and down, it literally just moves that rod in there. So I might as well have that all the way to the top for all the difference it makes. But that's interesting, because if I want to replace this with a bigger aerial later, it looks like you just undo the bolt and it will come straight out. So yeah, bear that in mind. There's not much to see on the actual circuit board, it's the wrong way around. But yeah, you're just looking at that, that looks old. Let's see, up here, these are the switches. So you press these in like that. Not sure what this is along here. Appears to be just some sort of rod. It's insulated with these rubber grommets where it sits in this frame. But it does have this bare copper wire wrapped around it. So, I mean, Lord knows what that's actually for. But there we go. That just goes, that wire just goes up into here and onto the back of the tone switch, turn it on and off. Then it goes down into the circuit board in there. And this okay, that's really cool. So as I turn the tuning, I don't know if you can see, this part here is rotating. If I get a little closer and angle it, you can see this pulley here, it has a little bit of string around it. As I'm turning this top bit here, it's going through another pulley at the back, and there's a third pulley under there. Point with this. There's one there, another one there. Presumably there's one behind here somewhere. And yeah, we are moving the string and that is rotating this. So I thought it felt a bit vague. And in my head I was picturing some like worn out gears, or maybe the knob itself was loose and it was just slipping. It turns out it's not slipping at all, it's just the string isn't the most precise way of moving it. Don't know what type of string it is, but it just looks to be a white thin string. Yeah. Interesting. The volume knob just has 3 cables going to go down to there. Alright. It looks like this circuit board comes away if I just undo those 2 screws. So just for the sake of having a look, let's have a look in there. Interesting, I don't see anything loose. So I think maybe just moving it around and shaking it, I was just getting it to the correct angle, perhaps, for it to pick up a better signal, rather than me actually moving anything around. See if that fits. Nope. Nope, it's very thin. I'll do. Number 4. we'll pop this circuit board out. That'll allow us to look right into the radio. It feels like it's done up finger tight only, considering it probably hasn't been removed in 40 years. That came away quite well. This one seems to have some sort of paint on it. Let's see what that does. A little stiffer, but it's coming straight out. Kind of. Don't seem to want to. Right, so it's rotating, but it's not actually going anywhere. Okay, interesting. Right, there might be more holding this on than I first thought. I really want to have a look. So I need a small spanner of some sort. This screw over here seems to sit inside some sort of wool rubber grommet. It won't come out. I can rotate it by hand, but it will not come free. Interesting. Leave that there for now. Appears to be attached through that grommet to everything else, which means the whole lot might need to come apart to get that out. You know what, it's working. I think full disassembly can be for another day. Still curious to know what this is. I think I need to do a bit of research into this. Sure. Oh, I'm beyond sure. I'm certain there's a number of radio enthusiasts out there that I can go looking for. Some of them might even have one of these things. I don't know what that is. Just take those away. Not sure what these are. They're like little bits of sticky on felt, but they've largely disintegrated. I'm guessing they were just to help stop vibration. So, alright, let's pop this back together. It was interesting to have a look, at least. But yeah, it looks like to get a view of this circuit board, I'll have to undo these two. But then this bit is attached with this screw, which won't come out. And even if it did, I have wires coming off the circuit board and attaching to this, so that's got to come out with this, which then looks like it means I have to take all this pulley arrangement apart, which looks very intricate, and given that the thing is working, I'm reluctant to do that, because it will be an absolute pain in the ass to put it back together, and you just know it'll never work properly ever again. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to put it back together. So, I'll tell you what we will do before we do that. Let's just snap these on and see if anything does anything interesting. Whilst it's turned on. Well, I don't know what station we're picking up now. Guessing Classic FM? Just rest something metallic in the area. I'll keep my hand on it. Frequency wheel. It's either going to be Radio 3 or Classic FM. I know this song as well. Tell you what, there's an easier way to find out. We shall use some more modern technology. Watch this. Okay, Google, play Classic FM. Interestingly, the Google thing seems to be a bit behind, but that is Classic FM we're picking up. Okay, Google, stop. Don't know if you're hearing that. But yeah, the radio seems to be a second or two ahead of streaming over the internet. Alright, let's turn this off, put it back together. Alright, so we're going to call this the end of part 1. I was just going to do this in one go, but I've got quite a lot of footage. This has turned into quite a long video, a lot longer than I wanted it to be. So we're going to call that a day anyway. The dogs need feeding, and well, so do I as well. So time to go make dinner. But I'm going to do a bit more work on it, try and get it a bit cleaner. All these little nooks and crannies, the tiny spots. I need to get like an old toothbrush into them, I think. Get every last little bit of dirt out. But yeah, it's not damaged. It's bar the odd little knock and scrape. So yeah, I think this could look like a nice little piece somewhere in the house. I'm glad it works. I think it's working as well as it's gonna work, given its age. It's never gonna have perfect signal, you know. But then again, I suppose I'm just a bit spoilt by DAB and Spotify and the like. So yeah, do a bit of research on it. I will do a voiceover for the BS, just so we know what that means before the end of the video. And I'm going to see what else I can find out about it. If there's a way to replace the aerial, let's see if I can get any like genuine accessories for it. I know for a fact there's a huge community out there of people that are really into radios, so I'm sure I can find something out about this, and we'll do that in a part 2, and yeah, that will show it fully restored, and yeah, we'll find a nice place for it somewhere in the house. So yeah, so for now, thank you for watching.